Welcome to a new series. We are going to call it Bitrate, and basically it will be reviews of games, movies, shows.
Just me rating some stuff, seeing what we like, putting it up on our bit meter, our bit rate, seeing what it's like, 4-bit bit rate. Pretty cool play on words.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
hey,
you've got Seb to thanks for
we'll
that one.
we'll be rank. Yeah, so we'll
yeah.
we'll have like different categories for movies and games, and we'll rank it based off that. We'll have overall scores for each category. We'll in the future, I guess, do new movie releases, new game releases. We might take a little ride of the nostalgia train, go back to some older movies or games that either we personally enjoyed or we've always wanted to play or watch but never got around to it. And I guess our first bit rate is 2023 Flash.
Couple days ago, we went up to the cinemas to go watch it. Pretty good. But before, we had to go look at some other reviews. Like IMDb, Metacritic, and Rotten Tomatoes on it. Those ones are all right. They were all pretty like saying it was just an all right movie. So we didn't have too high expectations coming into this, but it was all right. So general plot of this movie, general synopsis. Is that the Flash movie? It's about Barry Allen who discovers his new ability to time travel by running faster than the speed of light, and he debates it with Bruce Wayne, whether he should use it or not, and the possible consequences of his actions. But he ends up traveling back in time to the day his mother dies and prevents it. That's pretty interesting to see. Creating an
It's
alternate
based,
timeline known as Flashpoint, where reality is not what it seems.
yeah, it's based off the Flashpoint Paradox comic.
Yep,
And I think
Yeah.
they also touch on that in CW Flash. They had a
they do.
pretty good portrayal of it. I like
Oh,
that.
that
I think
stars
they did
Grant
it pretty
Gustin,
well.
But this one, it stars Ezra Miller, who
Oh,
he's
he,
not too good.
Yeah, Ezra
yeah.
Miller, he is quite a bad guy actually, but he did apologize for it. Although,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, that makes it up. Wow,
no,
okay.
he
Stop the
He
had
video here.
apologized.
various
Nice.
allegations of sexual assault, battery, grooming, DUI, racist acts, harassment, burglary,
Yeah, he's
and
getting typical males to leave the Ku Klux Klan at some point.
Correct, man.
shoot.
Have you guys seen the video of him choke slamming the
And
girl?
the interaction, and then he just goes fucking Terminator and just turns, just starts choking this chick out. It's like, can I get a photo? He's like, yeah, sure. Just starts fucking aggressively choking her.
I mean, like they should have recasted him. But if you saw on the internet before the movie came out, people were saying they needed to recast him. There was like a bunch of different people, but like Grant
Well, the
Gustin,
movie.
who's the CW Flash, he stood out as the person that they wanted to
Yeah, but the
recast
thing is,
Ezra
the
Miller as.
movie was like has been in production for a few years. It would have been hard to recast him.
Yeah,
But the thing that shocked me was the director was like, "We don't plan to recast him in the future." So in terms of DCEU, I think he's been solidified as the Flash, which is
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
something really interesting, right? Is that Flash in like CW Flash came out in 2014, and then later that same year, I think it's when the
Yep.
pilot episode came out of the Flash, they released saying they were going to have a Flash movie starring Ezra Miller. But then
What?
that didn't come out. Yeah, but that didn't
That's
come out
interesting.
till the
2023?
end of the CW Flash. So pretty much the CW Flash ended this year. Season 9
Right.
didn't release the Flash movie until the same year. It's been in production for almost a
That's
decade, for a very
9
long
years.
time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
well.
did we
When do
enjoy
wait?
it,
When did
guys?
they start? When did
Yeah.
they start filming?
They started filming. I don't know. They said they were going to
Uh,
make it back in 2014.
Apparently, 2019 they started
Yeah.
filming. So
oof,
they had plenty of time to not
recast.
use Ezra Miller.
Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, well, honestly, as most superheroes come, no matter how terrible they are, they're gonna be relatively enjoyable to watch with the fight sequences. Like even if they have shit plot, it doesn't really matter. Like the big companies, Marvel and DC. Look, Marvel's had some stinkers lately,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
some of them they'll have shit plot, but it's still interesting to watch. That's the thing. That's just what the fast-paced action genre kind of brings.
I wouldn't recommend it. It is a lot better than all of the Marvel ones recently, though.
It has almost zero rewatchability.
Yeah.
Like I watch a movie, that's cool. I don't think I'll ever rewatch it again unless I'm watching it again with someone who hasn't seen it. I'm not gonna go in my spare time and be like, oh, I might watch The Flash.
Yeah.
Personally, I've always been a fan of the Flash, mainly the CW. So seeing that Grant Gustin wasn't recast as the Flash was a bit hurtful. I enjoyed it. The plot wasn't anything too unique. I mean, it has a unique element of Flashpoint.
True. I mean,
Yeah.
I've said this before. It's an action movie. I'm gonna watch it. Regardless, I'm gonna enjoy it. The action sequences were cool.
Yeah.
Plot, I don't really care to be honest. Like I could have had my ears blocked and fucking like it wouldn't matter. I'm not gonna watch it again ever. But I'm glad I did watch it.
Yeah. I think it's good DC made another film.
If we had to rate it, guys, all right. So pretty much we have this scale in bit right here, our little bit meter.
What?
At the end. So we pretty much rate. We have different little sections that we rate the movies on. and we add them up to a overall rating of 100.
Yeah, honestly, overall on the enjoyability slash watchability of the movie, on the bit meter, we give it about a 6 out of 10. 6 out of
Plot
10.
of the Flash, if you had to rate it, there's a lot of plot holes towards the development of the story. And like to me, it overall felt like the side characters had more of an in-depth character development than the original Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Like, Barry Allen from the alternate timeline had better character development discovering his new powers that he gets. As well as this, the movie also explores the character development of Michael Keaton's Batman, which is also very
Do
interesting.
you think the
Cool.
movie would have
Yeah.
been? Would you have enjoyed the plot more if it was more of a origin story, or how he met the DC?
I
Not
don't really
DC.
give a shit about Ezra Miller. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They in Justice League they did a little bit of a, not really. I mean
No.
they kind of did.
No,
But
it
I
was
don't
just
really
running.
care about the Flash's origin. That's the thing.
If we had to rate the plot on the
That's
bit
what's
meter,
his net worth.
his net worth.
Uh,
Plot on the bit meter, if we had to, we would rate it a 6 out of 10. Similar to if we enjoyed it. I guess it kind of like
4 mil.
comes hand in hand between the plot and if we enjoyed it.
Yeah, the plot was nothing I pay attention to,
mm,
but
yeah.
it stayed relatively true to Flashpoint Paradox Comics, kind of.
Cool point, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah.
it gave the whole premise of the Flashpoint. It showed like the idea of Flashpoint was shown a lot in it.
I think-
But like it got not boring, but like got a little bit uninteresting at some points. Like Will fell asleep in
I
in
did.
cinema.
Yeah, about halfway through. There was about 10
In
minutes there I
that-
got bits of, and I didn't miss any.
Yep, and I had to like slap myself because I
Yep.
was like, come on, I'm never falling asleep in a cinema. It's not gonna start now. It's the first time I started blinking in the cinema, so I was like, oh shit.
Well, okay, I think the best analogy for the plot would be it was kind of like a Lego game, and the plot was
Go on.
side to the action.
Yep, I completely agree.
Yeah.
If the action wasn't as good as it was,
Yeah.
I probably would have left the
Let's
cinema.
talk about the characters in the film and how they developed, right?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. I Ezra Miller as a Flash was a little over the top, but he did pretty good, as he did have to play basically two characters throughout the whole film, right?
He did do well in that. They were very unique.
Yeah.
And I thought how he portrayed it, he made them two different characters.
Yeah, I did honestly forget that they were
he-
played by the same person.
Yeah.
Although he's like, although he's a questionable person, the way he portrayed the different personas of the two Barrys, like you could really see that they were two different people.
The
Yeah.
way he plays the Flash is very unique. And I think
yeah,
oh okay, it's not bad. It's just I think everyone's comparing him to Grant Gustin, obviously.
Yeah. I don't-
Because he's sort of the poster boy for Flash. But it's cool to see something unique. But his fucking run pissed me off so much, bro.
Oh,
I don't know what it is. He had the same run in Justice League, and I was like, "There's no way they keep this as his like signature run." It
the
fucking
arms,
pissed me
the
off.
arms,
The
yeah, yeah.
arms and his leg being like off. Oh my god, no, it just annoys me.
Michael Keaton was awesome to
Yeah,
see in the
Michael Keaton.
film. Yeah, I loved him as Batman. I preferred Ben Affleck, honestly.
So another character that was really cool to see was Zod. He was good to see.
Yeah,
you get to
actually.
see, yeah, like it's a different like I guess it's the
Love
same way
Zod.
he was portrayed in Man of Steel, but
I love God in Man of Steel.
That
yeah,
was.
Great.
it was
Great,
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
actor, great antagonist.
Yeah, but speaking of Zod, they brought back. I don't think they could afford Henry Cavill. They did bring back. Or they introduced
You know
Supergirl.
what was a really interesting
Was it?
addition to see in the franchise? Supergirl. Instead of Superman, they had Supergirl, and like although she's not the same actress as from the CW, Melissa Benoist, had this other actress, Sasha Calais or Callie or whatever,
Eh,
which is always cool
yeah.
to see.
Al?
She's a new
I
she's a new
think
face. to me.
I
never
like
seen it
her
before.
as Supergirl.
I
I think she
do.
played like a hardened version of Supergirl.
I wish they gave her more lines. Like, I don't think
Oh,
she spoke that much.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although her character development was a lot better than Ezra Miller's.
No,
offense,
okay, the
but at
first
least-
flashes.
at
The
least
second one
first
was good.
Barry. The first Barry, yeah.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Good suit design. Yeah, for sure.
It
Great
hit the
great
actor.
great design.
So overall, I think characters pretty good development. It was about 8 out of 10, I'd say.
On Bitmeter.
Yeah.
On the bit meter. Yep, 8 out of 10 on the bit meter.
Sounds good. So onto the CGI.
Yes.
This was an interesting, very interesting part of the movie. For I guess a majority of the movie, the CGI was. I felt like the characters were melting, and which honestly I would not expect out of a movie which had a 250 million US budget.
$50.
It looked like a $250 budget. It was a fucking
Yeah.
PS2 game, bro. I
Yeah.
swear. Okay, the action sequences though had
Yeah.
pretty good CGI when they didn't show the faces of the characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
where they were
Espe-
just
Especially
special effects.
compared to CW Flash, bro. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
okay.
honestly at some point they just start playing into it to get the meme potential out of it. There's some things of CW Flash that I look at clips, I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Grant Gustin still portrayed a better Flash than
But yeah.
Ezra Miller, in my opinion.
But yeah, no, the CGI, I think the running was a little bit goofy. But overall, the CGI and the fight sequence was good. As soon as they showed someone's face, I was like, come on, just pan the camera, pan the camera. please." Like, come
Yeah.
on, let's be
I've
honest.
heard that they were working overtime, says the director, to create the CGI and stuff like that.
Is that
which-
right?
It better
I don't
be
really
for that
know.
budget.
Yeah, even though like for $250, $250 million, and it didn't look
$250.
too good. I feel like they could have done a lot better.
But anyways, I'd say on the bit meter, about a 4 out of 10.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty below
Yeah.
average.
Yeah.
And this is relative to the budget. Obviously, if it's a low budget movie, it won't be as harsh. But come on, it's from one of the biggest like superhero conglomerates. And
Yep.
it's $250 million.
Yeah,
Honestly.
and they'd been working on it for like 4
pretty
years.
much. That's all right and stuff. You know, they have the CGI, which is kind of bad. The casting was all right. You know, I think we talked about this a lot, but we got Ezra Miller as a Flash, which is always cool. You got Michael Keaton as Batman. He's returning. You know, it's cameo. It's been in all the trailers. It's so cool. Sasha Calais or Cal, she's Supergirl. She's a new face. I haven't seen much of her before, but
What is she
know, I
in
get-
anything else?
I don't.
I'm
I watched
not-
an interview
I'm-
last night. She said she was an extra in one film. So
Okay,
Right.
she's in absolutely nothing.
we also have Kiersey Clemens as Iris West, and returning as Zod, Michael Shannon.
I did not like the casting for Iris. I've seen Kissy Clemens in other things before. I didn't like her casting, to be honest.
I mean,
Her
I
face
agree,
very
but I think I'm a bit biased because you know CW Flash. I'm a fan of that.
yeah.
yeah,
I like-
No,
I
but
think
she's
we're
a lot
comparing
better.
her too much to
Yeah.
yeah. As much as she pisses me off, like We Are the Flash, shit like that,
Hmm.
she is a decent casting for Iris.
Yeah. Candice
I
Patton.
think-
That's who. Yeah, that's who I'm
I
talking
think they
about.
just fucked her with her lines and shit.
Yeah, she just got bad writing,
She's-
unfortunately. That's just how it
She's,
is.
she's a little bit cringy.
Also, you know, I guess this counts as a little bit of casting cameos throughout this movie because it explores the multiverse and stuff like that. You get to see some cameos from some of your favorite actors, you know, who have played their like superhero roles in the past. But it was a bit disappointing to see some actors who appeared and some that didn't appear.
Going into the movie, I was like, multiverse movie. What cameos are we gonna see? Obviously, because in all multiverse movies, they're gonna be like, "Oh, let's bring back the nostalgia train." So people are like, "Oh my god, it's." I'm a little bit disappointed. There were some that I hoped for, which weren't in there. But it was also cool to see some that I wasn't expecting.
Me personally, it's been all over the internet, you know. Andy Muschietti, who's the Flash movie director, he cut out Grant Gustin, who's the CW Flash. Apparently, he had a cameo, and he cut him out because he was picking out the cameos, and he felt like Grant Gustin's cameo wasn't like a priority in the list of cameos.
Probably because Grant would have taken away from Ezra's spotlight.
Yeah, true, because he is a lot more known. And I personally believe that Grant Gustin should have had a larger priority in the list of cameos because he's been the Flash for a decade. He's portrayed the character in his own way, and I reckon him interacting with Ezra Miller would have been pretty cool. Because like in the CW Flash in Crisis on Infinite Earth crossover,
yeah.
there's a bit where Grant Gustin meets Ezra Miller. You know, their two Flashes, you know, meet each other. So I thought, hey, there could have been something in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is disappointing.
Overall, if
Yeah.
we had to rate this on the bit meter, casting and like a little bit of cameos in there, we rate it a 7 out of 10. You know, it wasn't best, but it wasn't overall bad. You know, it is what it is. It's cool to see some familiar faces and cameos. Ezra Miller did portray his character as well. I have to give him that. So yeah, 7 out of 10.
No, I think the casting was pretty good.
Cinematography.
Yeah.
Next category. Fight scenes really good. Camera angles, I think they were good. Like consistently
angles.
good throughout the
Well,
whole movie.
Other than when it was they were trying to use CGI, turn the
Mhm.
camera off.
Yeah.
A little bit better. Just make
Yeah.
it roof off wall, let them do their thing, and then go back when they're actually acting. They're not Play-Doh.
We're brutal. We're brutal. Cinematography was good. No,
It
they had
was.
some good camera shots there. It really helped to like portray the story well, you know. Whether it be close-up shots, mid-shots, stuff like that. Anyways, it was always cool to see those stuff. The choreography was really well done, even though like some of the choreography was done with CGI. Some other
What
things
do you mean
were
by
done,
choreography?
like
The-
the fight sequences, you know.
Yeah.
You get to see
Oh.
so the Flash using his powers
The
in a
fucking
very
dance sequences.
Yeah.
you get to see the Flash use his powers in a very unique way.
Yeah, I think cinematography was really actually well done. The
Yeah.
fight scenes were good, and I think it was really good how they use both flashes to fight together.
Yep.
And they didn't make them look the exact, like just two of the exact same people.
Yeah, they did.
collaborated-
They changed fighting styles between the two Flashes. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
and they collaborated really well, which reflected their overall persona.
So overall, cinematography, I think that's an 8 out of 10 on the bit meter.
Yeah. I'd give it that. I'd
Yeah,
give it 8 out of 10.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
It helps.
it is
helps
really
to-
solid.
Anyways, next category we are going into is comedy or lack thereof in this movie.
That was funnier
I
than the
mean,
movie.
look, they tried to be funny, which sort of counts, but
Yeah.
most of the humor came through, I guess, not the jokes they made or the things they had, but laughing at Ezra Miller himself, not at the Flash, but just at Ezra Miller,
His laugh,
which I don't
his
think they
run.
intended, but making fun of him
Yep.
was good comedy. No, but actually, they attempted to add huge humor, which is what they've been trying to do with all superhero movies coming out recently.
Yeah.
They're trying to what I like to call the Guardians of the Galaxy effect. They make even Guardians of the Galaxy was funny, but a lot of the movies that try and copy it, jokes just aren't funny. And I think part of it is because they release movies in a weird way where it's not old enough for adults, but it's also not very funny for.
Humor,
Like,
but like-
obviously, there are a few things that are a little bit of a chuckle, but overall, I wasn't fucking rolling on my belly, cackling, slapping my knees. But also,
Yeah.
the jokes could have been partly due to Ezra Miller's delivery of them. Like,
Yeah, you have to give him that, I guess, because he was playing two
no, I'm
characters.
saying
You took the wrong angle, Chase.
as in,
Also-
there were decent. There could have been some decently written jokes, but the delivery wasn't there. I reckon about a 4 out of 10
Yeah.
on the bit meter for a comedy.
Yeah, the movie soundtrack next category. I loved it. Look, they did a good job including all of the characters' theme songs.
Music to a point suited most of the scenes. Like if it was an intimate scene, they'd show intimate music. If it was an action scene, they'd show action music, stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Cameos and stuff like that, like Michael Keaton, his iconic Batman like
Theme.
soundtrack was shown.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, the theme.
Yeah, they
was
played
pretty
the
cool.
Batman theme song.
Uh,
Overall,
yeah,
the soundtrack we rank a 6 out of 10 on Bitmeter. It encompassed all the themes, but it wasn't anything extraordinary.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't
the
anything.
themes, the actual music was shit, but it was cool that it had
Yeah.
the themes.
It wasn't anything really unique, but you know what was unique? The take on the Flash, you know, because they really portrayed Ezra Miller in a different way compared to the comics. You know, he has his own little style of acting, and I guess the director, I guess, shaped the story around that sort of way. Like, because Ezra Miller has his own way of portraying his characters. Obviously, he's an actor; every actor does. So it's kind of cool to see the way that he has his take on the Flash. You know, because like comparing it to like other Flashes we've seen, you know, Grant Gustin, it was cool to see the difference between the two. Furthermore, you know, they also showed the comparison or like a portrayal of the Flashpoint paradox. You know, because like they have their own style of doing it. You know. But as well as this, you know, the CW also has the Flashpoint paradox in season
They
3.
did it
sorry.
pretty. They
Yeah.
portrayed it very well, I think.
Yeah, they portrayed it a lot better
I
than
like how they
this.
did. Was the CW one comic book accurate, or was that? I thought they kind of did that.
They
in
had their own
thing
spin on
throughout.
it as well. They had
Oh,
their own
I
spin on
think
it.
they did it well. They did it well.
Yeah. Overall, if we had to rate the uniqueness of this movie on the bit meter, we'd rate it a 5 out of 10. You know, it's like halfway.
yeah.
It wasn't anything
Like,
crazy.
the-
but, like,
it was
yeah.
pretty. It was pretty vanilla. Like they tried to tackle the multiverse
In the
but,
same way that they
um,
always do.
tried, emphasized
Yeah.
and tried.
Now let's talk about the budget. The budget of the whole movie was about 250 million
So,
US,
The
which is
Flash.
very large, and it's made 140 million US box office, so they haven't made their money back, which is not ideal. I think partly this is due to Across the Spider-Verse releasing at the same time, which is also a multiverse movie,
Yeah.
and did better as a multiverse movie, and it was a lot bigger movie. Like with $250 million budget, you'd think they have better CGI budget on bailing out Ezra from
Mhm.
all the fucking controversy.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, for budget, we're gonna give it about a 3 out of 10 on
Yeah.
the bit meter, and that's
Yeah.
basically just relative to their utilization of the budget. And they had a huge budget, so no remorse here.
Miscellaneous thoughts. So, anything else we've got to say on the movie? I think it was interesting. Quite, it was almost unique for a Flash film.
I don't think it's a good portrayal of the multiverse.
No,
Yeah.
I think it might have been slightly more true to the comics than CW. I think I just looked it up. but it wasn't anywhere near good enough.
Alright, guys,
movie,
just to
our
segue into the
opinion.
overall thoughts and
Yeah.
opinions.
I reckon it was. Personally, I think it is worth the watch. It's good to see the familiar faces and the cameos, and the concept of Flashpoint was done relatively well.
Yep.
Ezra Miller, although he's done his bad things, his portrayal of his character was well to admit.
Yep.
It was good. There are plot holes in the story,
Agree.
but I guess it could be filled in the possible Flash movie too.
They're not doing
If
another one, are they?
DC could be. I don't know. I haven't
Oh.
heard about it. but it
Probably.
could-
I mean, he'll show up in future
Yeah.
Justice League
Yeah.
things if they have it. We've had 10 categories.
Yep.
Each out of 10.
Yeah.
And so, just as a little bit of a conclusion, overall, we recommend it's definitely worth a watch. I say wait till it comes out to streaming platforms. Don't really go
Yeah.
to the cinema unless you're a diehard DC Flash fan. If you're like a bit of a normie who doesn't watch too many movies, in terms of like comics and superheroes and shit, don't watch the Flash.
Yep.
I think it's made for people who like the Flash, like DC, and I think you'll enjoy it. The action's cool, but don't go for the plot. Don't go for the comedy because
Yeah.
it just doesn't hit. And so
true.
just as a overall rating of the movie, our bit rate, we give it to a bit rate of 57 bits out of 100, which
Yep.
It may
is
be
based
you-
on our
you-
categories.
Yeah, you guys may think it's a bit harsh, but it's based on all our categories. We have 10, it's up to 10, and we've rated each category. So I guess it's 57 bits out of 100. It's not like great movie, but it's not the worst. It's just
Yeah.
there. It's like
Worth
mediocre.
a watch, but yeah, I'd say honestly wait till it's on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you everyone for tuning into our very first bit rate of the Flash movie. Let us know your opinions on the movie if you've seen it, whether you're going to watch it, and what bit rate you would give it out of 100. And obviously, let us know any future bit rates you'd like us to do.
Check out our TikTok, Seb goes crazy on there, bro. Go check that out. It's always cool. So
Yeah,
anyways,
when they're stopped.
thank you guys for watching. We've been 4-bit. This was a very interesting movie to watch, and it's great for us to create this bit rate for you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I guess like and subscribe or whatever people say these days. Yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.
Bye, YouTube.